And got it. Okay, great. So we'll do a little bit of an overview of the class we did last week, last Friday, and we'll add a couple of new kind of movements to it as well. But we'll just start with a gentle kind of warm up, loosen the body. So can we just bow in together? Great. Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Great. So you just take a shoulder width stance, nice and loose with the jaw, a stick, nice and everything now. Especially the knees, shoulders. That's let everything kind of hang down. Choose the weight of the stick a little bit, just to draw the arms towards the ground. Get the weight of it in the hands. It's kind of 3 points you can really focus on with the weapons and try and kind of maintain it all the way through. The first one's the kind of knees, so just this kind of sense of soft springiness in the knees. So you've got to kind of always got to kind of flex in the knees, so they're never kind of locked out. You just want, in this case, just to kind of fall towards the toes. With a soft. And the next point to look at is just the shoulders. So just letting them, you want them really to kind of sit back into the body. So just play a little bit with the distance between the hands. You want the shoulders to kind of sit back down. So as if you want to feel like the shoulder blades are not close together, like I'm pushing them together, but just to kind of roll back. And that basically allows the arms kind of relax, and then you get this kind of weight in the arm. Especially we spend a lot of time kind of on computers and everything in the front. Tends to tense the shoulder and make the arm quite tense. So you want it just to kind of relax down. One key point to look at is like kind of the position of the ears in relation to the shoulders as well. So the head kind of rolls forward, the shoulders start to kind of go with it. So just look as you do this, that sense of kind of length through the spine. This is the kind of last point, really, that sense of length up through the body, through the spine. Just trying to keep that kind of vertical length through the spine all the time. So it's kind of soft knees, relaxed shoulders, and lengthened spine. And again, just keeping those points, just go into a little bit of a rotation. And again, especially in this one, just watch out for the knees. Just listen to them. You don't want to in this case. Because we do a lot of rotation work in Aikido, there's a tendency that the knee joints take a lot of stress, particularly in these kind of twisting motions. So what you're looking for, again, just let the knees kind of release towards the toes. Again, keeping the shoulders back and down. Again, that sends a length through the whole spine. And the next one, just want the feet a little bit closer together. This one's just kind of curling down the spine, going all the way down. Take it nice and slow. Bring the jaw towards the ground. Let the arms release. Let the head relax. And then slowly as you want to come up, just bending the knees, again, softening the knees, rolling up, keeping the shoulders relaxed all the way through. Just coming back up. So you want to kind of, in this case, start with the head, roll the spine, curling all the way down. And then as you come up again, they're going to be the head that's kind of the last thing to release. So it curls up and then we'll lengthen a little bit. We'll just do a few here, nice and relaxed. Keep the shoulders softened, knees relaxed. Some of the key things we're looking for also in the weapons, but in Aikido as well, is the sense of the weight going down below into the lower body, into the legs, let it drop into the ground, and keeping the upper body really relaxed on top of the legs. In this case, just a nice exercise to loosen the spine out and release the shoulders, the head, the neck. Great. I'm just put a little bit more emphasis on the move. So you're just going to use the hands up at the top, stretch up a little bit, gentle back bend. And then in this case, bend in the knees, don't keep the legs straight, bend the knees. Draw the arms down again, start to curl the spine towards the bottom. Sway. And in this case, again, keeping the knees bent, roll up through the center, roll the jaw up, stretching up to the top. Gentle back bend. You can come up onto the toes if you like, also slightly increasing. And settle down, bending the knees. Okay, when you're ready, just coming back into the center. Just go a little bit to the side, so you sort of reach up over the side. You can do this two ways. You can leave the weight in the side that you're bending towards. So in this case, my left leg, I'm sinking the weight in, and the opposite side, you can release it that way. Or the alternate of that is as you just go over the side that you're arcing over, you can keep that leg grounded down to this way. Just feel what feels better. Slightly stretch different parts of the body. You might feel a little bit tighter, so you can just explore that. Lengthen out there. So you just want to create length down the side of the body all the time, like down both sides when you stretch over. So, perfect. Just a few on each side. Okay, perfect. And from here, we're going to go into a kind of spiral. So you're going to sink into one side. If you feel the knee, in this case, kind of locks, you might want to start to open it out. In this case, the side that you rotate from, release that foot and let yourself come into the ball of the foot here. Bringing the jaw up to the top. You're just going to kind of spiral the body up to the top. And if you feel that front leg, the knee locking, just open that leg out. You want to start to go to kind of spiral right up through the body to the top. Perfect. And just slowly releasing it and taking it to the other side, just in your own time as you do it. Spiraling up. Each time just come into the center, relax, find a neutral position, and then go to the opposite. Great. Good. Again, and again, when you're ready, just coming back to the center again. You want the legs, last one we'll do, a little bit wider. Take the jaw right to the back. There's two ways you can do this. One, this kind of simple way. You bring basically the opposite hand to the foot and you just circle around the top. And then again, bring the left hand to the right foot. Just kind of brushing the ground with the hands. Get a nice big circle. That's kind of comfortable. You can also do this movement, so kind of unlock the shoulders. You can take the jaw round the back of the body. Here, over the shoulders. And then keep it going. You get to that position. Change the jaw behind the back. You just start to open the shoulders and the hips. Great. Just a few circles one way. Great. When you get to the bottom in the rotation, just stop and then change the direction. And again, there's two ways. Keep the jaw at the top. Or if you can, let the jaw kind of mobilize around the back. Start to open the shoulders up. Okay. So a nice movement through. Right. Good, and then just let the body settle down in between the legs. Again, just release, feel the head relax. Relax the shoulders. And when you're ready, just start to bring the feet together. And bending from the knees. Coming back up nice and tall. Perfect. And just shake everything out a little bit. Shake the arms. Shake the legs. Good. So we'll just go to some of these rotation movements. We did them last time working with mobilizing the jaw. Again, the first one, we'll add some new ones. We'll start with the ones we covered last time. Just taking the jaw right in the middle first. Again, the key thing with this is just start with the feet, the sense that you want a bit shoulder width apart, hip width with the feet. Again, just have the sense that you kind of relax the knees. There's a little bit of spring in the legs. And then from here, keeping the shoulder release. A little bit noisy there. Keeping the shoulder release, and then you're just going to let the forearm do most of the work. So the best way I think about this is the shoulder can relax the bottom. A little bit like there's a kind of weight hanging off the elbow. So the elbow's going to kind of hang down. What you want to avoid in this is the kind of shoulder kind of raising up in this kind of way. So just have that sense that the kind of weight sinking down. Just kind of relax into it. All that movement of the jaw is coming from the forearm to the wrist. Great. That's so perfect. Good. And then in your own time, just play with changing the sides. So just mix in a few one side. Again, softening the knees, relaxing the shoulders down. And again, keeping that length through the spine as well, so that kind of upright. Lengthened naturally through the spine.
So Michael, the motion is coming from the wrist then, right?
Yeah, if you think about this motion, we do this a lot when we do Aikido in terms of empty-handed kind of techniques. We look at this kind of what we call this kind of movement, which is a kind of spiraling motion. And this motion is basically coming from the forearm and that movement of the hand, so that kind of motion. And then what we use the jaw for in this case is, this is for a lot of things, but also for that kind of feeling. So the motion, I can in a way fix this part of the arm. Right. I can fix this part of the arm and just make the wrist go. But it's a little bit limited if you feel that if I kind of lock the arm that way, the wrist is a little bit limited. So what I'm allowing is the forearm to kind of form that rotation.
Perfect. Yeah,
I'm looking for that kind of feeling. But the main thing here is that it doesn't allow what I don't want is the shoulders kind of raise out. So that kind of feeling. I'm just trying to get that.
Okay, thank you. Like there's a lot of range of motion.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
So, good. So, perfect. That's it, great. Good, and then we'll take this to the next level where you're just going to kind of roll out with it. So again, this is a really tricky one because, well, not tricky, but just a little bit more challenging in terms of that structure of the shoulder. So just the first few you do this, take this nice and slow. Just kind of reach out, just the point when I can feel that the shoulders down. So the shoulders raise out of the body, but I don't want to feel that it's kind of coming out of structure. By that I mean kind of the shoulders that's kind of split away from the back. So the main thing that's kind of useful for this is try and feel where the arm actually is kind of connecting into the body. So we tend to think of like the arm just stopping at the shoulder, but really think of it as kind of really connecting into the lower back. So down the side of the body and right into the base of the spine. And if you can feel that, right, take it extended into the feet as well. You want that sense that the arm's really connecting in to the whole structure. That's it. Yeah, and the main thing as you do this will happen naturally as long as I don't block it. So what we'll tend to do is I kind of block the lower body and I do it with the arm, and nothing really happens here. But just allow this, the rest of the body to kind of soften naturally, and you'll hopefully feel as you reach out, the sense of the weight will just naturally drop down. So the body will naturally try and find balance. If I kind of just reach the arm out, just have a sense that the weight of the body is going to drop down. So it's not in a sense it's kind of counterbalancing, which would be like where I kind of pull the body back to kind of meet that. But it's just kind of natural kind of setting of the body. That's it. And again, just play with both sides, do a few on each side. And give it the same rotation happening through the forearm and the wrist. So, yeah. The other thing you'll probably notice naturally is also the hip starts to engage through the movement a little bit as well. So as I kind of reach out the right side, you probably feel the right hip starts to kind of want to engage into it. So just allow that to happen, because it's basically what you're allowing the body to start engaging fully the movement. Again, if I lock the hips and I do it with the arm, I kind of just create tension in the lower body. So think about that sense of, it's almost like it's as if you want the hip to start to engage the hand out. And then as it comes back, as I want to pull the arm back, as if I want to draw it back with the hip. So it's a very small movement. This gets a little bit bigger later and in the next movement. But just have that sense now that you've got a kind of soft connection between the hip and the hand. That's it. So the other main principle that we're working in Aikido is a sense of the movement being guided by the center, or basically all the movements of the external parts of the body, the hands and the feet, are kind of being governed by the center. In this case, we focus mostly on the hips because it's the kind of direct, or the kind of easiest joint to focus on in terms of connecting to the center of the body. Think about the waist, think about the hips. The key thing is that sense of basically always staying in the center and allowing that movement to be governed by the center all the time, but kind of in and out. So great. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more complex. So you're going to make now a kind of figure of eight in this kind of pattern. Just working one side, and then you'll probably naturally feel the hips want to start to engage with it. And this is really what you're looking for. So you're looking for the hips to start to guide the arm. So, again, the main thing is the forearm still doing that motion, and that most of the mobility of the jaw is coming from that region. And then I'm just going to allow the hips to take the arm. But again, the key thing is that the center line of the body is still kind of remaining here. It's a very easy movement to start to kind of rock the body in and out of the center. So just think again of the kind of body dropping down, weight drops in, and then just you can find that motion. Just want it nice and smooth. Probably notice also in this one the grip needs to be quite relaxed. If I have the grip too tight, you probably feel the arm starts to kind of drag out. So just allow yourself to keep a nice soft grip. And again, those three key points: softening the knees, dropping the shoulders down, relaxing the shoulders, and that sense of length through the spine all the time. A little bit like you're being gently pulled up through the center of the head. And again, just once you're comfortable, play with changing sides. Great. Nice. Perfect. Great. Keep going. Great. So we'll go to the idea of changing hands, but first just do a really nice exercise. Just involve both hands. So you want both hands on the center, and the thumbs in this case pointing up, a little bit like a kind of canoeing paddle kind of movement. Get that same rotation now, but keeping the hands, both hands on the weapon, or both hands on the stick. And you'll probably feel naturally with this one. Again, if I tighten up too much with the grip, I'll feel that the movement kind of passes into the shoulder because I basically lock that mobility of the wrist as it passes through. So try and release the shoulders and keep a nice kind of soft grip. You'll probably feel, in this case, if you do this slowly, that naturally the hand that's kind of passing the motion, this where the left hand is basically holding the joke and the other hand can basically relax. But you'll probably feel one hand wants to release and one hand wants to kind of keep hold up to keep control of the weapon. But just let that naturally happen. You just want to feel that motion. Good. Now, what I want to focus on, because the hands are kind of both on the jaw, just start to focus on the hips. So the main thing that you want to feel with the hips is a kind of unlocking of the hip. So we tend to think of the hip like a kind of block, or I tend to move it like a block. And then we'll look something like this. So the hips kind of go together. But try and think of the hips kind of independently. You're kind of able to open and close them. And later, it's just really important when you go to kind of stepping works. If you think about walking in the street or every in the day, again, I can kind of lock the hips and walk with it. But you'll probably notice you kind of have the sense of releasing through the hips all the time. So naturally, the hips want to be open and released so that they can really kind of mobilize the body. So you're looking for now that sense that the hip can stay kind of flexible. And then I can pass that kind of fluid feeling into the weapon. This is a kind of nice thing with these wooden weapons because they're kind of just a stick, a kind of inert stick. I want to kind of give a little bit of life into the weapon, and that's going to come from the kind of fluidity of my own body. I kind of feel good. That's so nice. And then if you hit just to kind of get the balance on, get the balance in the hands, just change the grip. So whichever hand you had on top, just change the grip with it and just continue that motion.
Wow.
And just notice with this, the tendency is the more active the movement gets, the easier it is to start to lose the kind of quality of the center of the body. So again, a sense of just relaxing the knees, keeping the shoulders soft and relaxed. And again, that kind of length through the spine just helps kind of center the body. You basically want all that kind of activity in the jaw and the arms to be kind of wrapping around the center of the body so the center stays stable. And then everything else is kind of rotating around it. Good. And then just progress this now to basically only having one hand on the weapon. And you're going to shift and change the grip from underneath now. So you add an extra rotation with this from what we've just done this. What you're doing now, if I can show this really slow, is that it does an extra rotation and then I change.
Okay.
And change your palm up, just at the side of the body. Change. Change. That's perfect. Great. But what I tend to think about with this is whichever hand is controlling the jaw, think of the same side hip, again controlling the hand. So if as I switch to the right hand, just shift my focus gently to the right hip, and then letting that hip kind of almost like kick the weapon out. So as I change to the left, I think about the left hip connecting into the hand, through the shoulder, the elbow, and then releasing it. So just really take your time in that in the transition. Change it, feel that connection, and then just release it. Release it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Good. And then once you've got that feeling, just feel free to kind of, you can go a little bit faster with it. The main thing with speed for me is control. So I want to go only as fast as I can feel that I'm in control of my own body and the coordination. As soon as I feel it's kind of too fast, that the body starts to kind of be pulled out, I just want to slow it down. So the main thing focusing on is the kind of quality of the coordination and the connection. Just take it as fast as you feel. And speed's generally used to just kind of test the connection and just give yourself a little bit of a challenge. So good. Perfect. Great. Keep going. Great. Nice. Good. So we'll go to a few here. Another one here is to open up to the back. So I use these kind of exercises as a way to introduce flexibility in the body and all these kind of things. But the other things also open up the space of the body. So we'll do one where the Joe's at the side of the body, the stretcher from the back. You're going to release the Joe underneath, goes towards the spine, and then you take it into the other hand at the back, and then you release it out this way. So you're taking the Joe here, up to the spine, change the hand at the back, and then release it the other way. So in a kind of fluid motion, it'll look like this. But the first few just allow yourself to kind of find the spine, comfortably change the hand, take it over. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Good. So these the two exercises we'll do here are really nice because I can't actually see where the Joe is because I'm not watching it. So I've just got to basically use feeling. So and later really looking, the Joe's just in my kind of peripheral vision, but this is really, I can't actually look at it and kind of watch the hand. So I just need to basically do it with touch and feel where the weapon is. So it's just opening up that part of the body. Don't tend to think about a lot, the back of the body. Just open up that space here. And it's also a nice one for the shoulders, just kind of open them out. That's it. That's it. Perfect. Again, once you're comfortable with it, feel free to take it a little bit more fluid. A little bit faster if you like. Great. That's it. Nice, nice, nice. That's it. Perfect. Nice, nice, nice. Great. Okay, the next one we'll do is over the top of the head. So you're going to start with the jaw horizontally, here, and in the center. In this one, you're going to change above the top of the head. So you're going to bring the jaw up to here, this point, and just let it kind of rotate through. So the first few, just get used to this kind of movement. Again, it really involves the flexibility in the forearm, and you're using its kind of motion. You just want to start kind of horizontally. Ideally, let the jaw pass in a kind of horizontal way. So all the time it stays in a horizontal position to the ground. So you've got that to there. And you want to, in this case, I'll show from this angle, you want to go right up to the top of the head. Right up to the top of the head, just so it's just out of vision, just out of sight. You don't want to do this while you're kind of in front of the head, so just give yourself a little bit of space above the head. Again, just feel that kind of direction open up, this kind of up, vertical direction. Right up to the top. And then again, just play with both hands with this. So starting on the left side, it's the same, just coiling up and then releasing it. Coiling up, releasing it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Good. Right, so we'll transition now to the hand. So what you do now, bring the hand that you want to transition to, you just bring it to the back of the other hand. So as you come up here, the palm goes to the back and keep that hand open. What you're going to do is rotate the jo into the palm here and then catch it this way. And then you release it out that way. So I'll try and show a few. It's a little bit of a tricky hand transitions to show. You're going to come up to the top, bring the hand to the back. Bring the jo overhead and just let it release in. And then over here. Bring your hand to the back. Just take this really slowly. It goes like this. This, and then it passes into that hand, release it, drop it down. That's it. That's it. Yeah, and if you want with this one, it's a little bit of a tricky transition. So you can just practice this one here. You just kind of do this motion. So you're taking the hand to the back, the palm, and you're just releasing it into. It's a tricky one because actually at a certain point here, the jo's a little bit out of the grip. So it's a really soft transition. I basically bring the hand in, rotate into it, and release it. You're just allowing that. The jo's kind of, in a way, kind of jump over into the grip. But I want to make it as smooth as possible. The jo shouldn't feel really out of control. But nice and calm. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
That is
Yeah, good. And again, once you're comfortable with it, just come back up to the top of the head. You do that same motion now. But yeah, I've got to do this because it's out of sight. I've got to basically do this by touch. So just let it pass over. You do a nice, again, smooth transition to the top. That's it. Good. Very good. Great. Nice, nice. Good. We'll do one more here. This one will eventually work to the opposite direction to this one. So it's basically going counterclockwise, but there's just one step in between. What you do with this one is the first one where you come off the center line. So you just want to be a little bit off the center, not too far, but around about here. What you're going to do now with this one, you're going to bring the tip of the jo up to the back this way, and just bring it to the just above the elbow here. So you're just in that kind of position. So that kind of position here, just get it in there. There you go. Again, you want to feel the shoulder kind of releasing down the back. Releasing down the back. And then what you're going to do with the opposite hand, you're going to take it underneath the elbow here. And you're going to take the control of the weapon here. So you roll over the arm, cross that hand over here, take the weapon here, and then release the top hand. And then what you do from here is you arc underneath, and then you find the opposite elbow this way. You bring that hand across, change, release it. So you're arcing down and then over the shoulder. Down, over, change. Down, over, change. It's a really nice one to kind of open the shoulders out. Big motion here. Great. That's it. Perfect. Yeah. Good. Nice. And that's it. Great. Good. And then what you can do with this one is just slightly cut it down again. So you come back onto the center of the weapon, the Joe. Now, rather than going over the elbow, the back, you release it and you're going to take the opposite hand. So rather than going here, it goes across to the wrist this way. And in this one, you're taking thumb to thumb, this way. You're going to take this, thumb to thumb, here, across. Again, take that hand over, release this hand, and then you release it underneath. So you go back, bring the tip of the weapon back, cross the arm underneath, just at the wrist, bring the thumbs together, take the weapon, open it out, and again, take it back, thumbs together. You're changing underneath the weapon. Hand goes across, under. Under. If you get a little bit lost with this, just go back to the one where you go to the elbow. So this movement here, it's the same, it's just bigger. So you're going over the back. The direction of the Joe, the movement's the same. It's the same direction. And then once you're comfortable with that, just see if you can condense it a little bit and you change at the wrist. So the movement becomes a little bit smaller, a little bit more flexibility in the arms to do this one.
I see.
You got it. So, yeah, exactly. So this is basically a reverse of this motion.
Thank you, Mike. This direction has been baffling me for years or months.
this was actually, it comes from I learned this one from like a nunchuck. It was a movement from nunchuck. You go like pass the nunchuck over and then you change it and then you whip it back. And then this one's like a little bit shorter with it. Right. You got it. These are great. You can put some music on and just play with the weapon a little bit. These are nice. Right. Good. Just play with these. So we've got like four movements. Not 4 or 5. So you've got this one where you're passing it over the front. You've got this one where you're passing around the back. This way. The second. Now we've got 4. You've got this third one we did, which was kind of coming over the top. You're changing at the top of the head and opening up that direction. Right at the top. And then this one we've just done kind of coming over the shoulder, taking that opposite direction. And either working at the elbow or working at the wrist. And you can either kind of cycle between them all. You've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can kind of mix them in any way you like with. The main thing is to feel the kind of, again, the point really from the first exercise, this squat we did, feel the center of the body connecting into the Joe. Your knees relaxed, shoulders heavy, down, length through the spine. And whichever one of these you'll do, you're looking for that same kind of feeling. Kind of relaxed, heavy body. And all the activity of the Joe just happening around that kind of stable, connected body. And again, you can use a little bit of speed or a little bit of complexity changing the weapon, just to challenge that ability to stay grounded, stay balanced. posture. Very nice. Good. Perfect. Right, last step with these, just play with it, moving the body through the space. So you take this slowly, and you just basically want to the key thing is this, in a way, you kind of discover these patterns. So you just want to allow the body to move with the motion of the weapon. Okay, you can do this a few ways. You can stick to one of them and just move the body around, see what kind of movements kind of naturally come out. And then as you're kind of comfortable with it, just start to introduce the others. The one going behind the back's a nice one. You can make a big rotation with the body. Also, the one coming up over the top. It's a nice one to do with a rotation of the body. And again, just keeping those points in mind as you start to introduce movement of the feet. Keep that sense that you can relax everything down towards the ground. So just start mixing in for you. Good. Nice. Very nice. This is so nice really to do like 10, 15 minutes, just kind of pick up the stick, just kind of play with it. See, you'll also discover loads of different kind of movements as well. So there's tons of movements you can do with it. The main thing is just kind of feel that connection with it, and however complex it is, keep those kind of points in mind as you do it. We'll take it into a little bit of striking work. So again, we did this last time. A little bit. We just play with the thrust, so you just want to be in a nice kind of stable left side posture. And you just want to play with feeding the weapon through. So you've got this kind of swing through this way. Again, those same 3 points, the kind of relaxed, soft knees. So the knees will always have a kind of sense of being open. You never want to feel it kind of locked one of the knees or one's kind of stiff. Just feel that there's always a kind of sense of a bit of springiness through the legs. That's going to allow you to really kind of shift the weight in the body and allow you again to kind of pass motion into the ground. That's it. Again, the other one really important for this is the shoulders. So keeping the shoulders kind of relaxed and really you want them to be at the side of the body. So if you think about just kind of standing, you want the shoulders to be kind of open, relaxed at the side so that they can kind of pass this motion through. The main thing that will happen in the Joe is actually kind of challenging this ability to relax the shoulder. Everything goes to the front, so the shoulder tends to start to close, and I start to end up with quite a small movement. So we're looking to really let that shoulder, especially the back one, really relax and allow that movement to kind of pass through. That's it. That's it. And then again, that third point, a little bit more tricky now, that sense of length through the spine. You want all the time, it's not that the body's kind of upright in the sense that you're kind of in this position, but you want that in whatever position you put the body into, whether I'm engaging the body forward or drawing it back, I want to have that sense that there's just a gentle kind of pull. So you can also, to get a feel for that, you can also put the jaw at the back of the body, and you want to feel a kind of length from the tailbone to the top of the skull. That says that whatever you do with it, there's going to be kind of gentle draw up through the spine. That's it. And you want to kind of maintain that sense, whatever the movement is, or whatever position I'm in. That's it. And again, with this one, play left side and right side. You might feel one side's a little bit more, it might be more connected. You might feel a little bit freer one side. Yeah, just trying. The great thing about the 𝒌 is that you can really balance the movements out left and right side. They usually mirror the same, so they're kind of symmetrical. So I want to kind of find that same feeling, left and right. Perfect. Cool. That's it. Perfect. And then every so often with this, just go into a position where you're grasping the 𝒌. So as it comes out, the general rule with this is that the extension I find is just where the hand is level with my shoulder. It's round about this way. Again, it's different for everyone, but it's around about this area. You want to kind of finish in the strike. That's basically where I can kind of hold the position. If I go too far, I'm going to start to kind of pull the body out of structure. So you just want to be finished around this position. But yeah, just play with. They're kind of flexible there. And then just kind of squeeze both hands together on the weapon. Just allow the 𝒌 to find that natural arc, and then just snapping on. So again, try both sides. Roll, roll, catch it. Roll, roll, catch it. So. Good. Yeah, great. So this move, although we're focusing on the arms and the hands in terms of this finishing position, think that the whole body kind of becomes engaged in the movement. So it's not that I want to lock the body up in the case like this, where it kind of becomes rigid, but I want the sense that the whole body kind of concentrates. So think as you find the hands, as you find the grip, I want you to think just about the feet and think about the feet settling into the ground. So the feeling you want is as if someone was to push into the weapon, straight down the weapon, that the feet will be able to kind of absorb that pressure into the ground. So I want to feel that I'm connected right into the ground. Again, there's still a softness in the knees. I don't lock them up, but I want to feel that the feet are able to connect into the ground, a little bit like the roots in a tree, that sense that you're kind of spreading the weight through the ground. So it's got that same sense as you reach out with the weapon, concentrate out, that feeling of equal concentration down. So these kind of things always come together with especially with the weapon work. Yeah, that's good. And as you've got that, just go into now every time finding the focus, and you're going to bring the feet into it now. So release through the front leg, and then bring the back leg into just a really simple move. It's just a 1-2 step. But again, slides up to really settle each time. So you got 1-2, 1-2. And really feel the body settling down, sinking, settling as you find that strong extension out. Yeah. That's it. Perfect. Good. Yeah. Good. Nice. Whoosh. Great, and we'll just finish with one practice. We'll start this with 2, and then we'll take it into 4 directions. Once you've got 4 directions with this, you can take it anywhere, but we'll just start with the first 2 directions. This is just front and back. So we'll start with the left side with this one. You thrust in here, And what I'm going to do is turn to the back. At the same time, I'm going to switch the hands on the weapon. So I end up on the right posture, go in the right side. And then thrusting, change in the side. So it goes 1. Yeah, as I change, I bring this hand in, switch the weapon this way. Thrust, change. Thrust, change. So you're allowing the hands to really flow up and down the weapon in this one. Give it a try. Good. Fast. That's nice. Great. The main thing with this is, again, the whole body contributes to one action. So in this case, I want the hands, the feet, and the rest of the body to really work together. So the same way you do with the thrust, the whole body goes in. Look for this in the rotation as well. The whole body goes into the rotation. So the feet and hands especially, think about coordinating them together. So if you watch the position, my body goes a little bit this way as I find that rotation, but the feet, in this case, go together. 1, 2, with the hands. This. So you're looking for this kind of unified coordination of the body all together. And that's really the key for all the work of the weapons. This. Good. Great. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, the last few with this, just start to open out the directions a little bit. So we have a movement pattern with the same idea of working 4 directions and working 8 directions. We will do this on another time, but what I want you to think about is just changing the direction each time. So you can obviously work front and back. This is just working like 2 directions. But feel that you can just start to open the movements out now and take the strikes in any direction. So the main thing with these kind of movement patterns is generating a sense of flexibility and the ability to just move in any direction and strike. So just allow yourself to be kind of drawn towards another angle. And you can use objects in the space just to give you a kind of focus. You want to basically rotate in, connect, thrust. Rotate, connect, thrust. So you can use these 2 front-back directions as a kind of base, and then you just want to kind of open it out. That's it. Yeah, good. So you're looking for this kind of real freedom of movement, the ability to connect any direction. And you've got that little bit of concentration at the end of the strike each time. Nice, that's nice. Okay, perfect. We'll stop there, so. these kind of really simple exercises, or not super simple exercises, but quite basic in a way, and especially these last exercises we did with the ski work stuff. The great thing about these kind of exercises, they form the real kind of blueprint for all the other movements we do in terms of complexity and in terms of linking movements together. All those kind of fundamental basics stay the same, which is why we spend a lot of time in my style, in my school, we spend a lot of time working on the basic, these real kind of foundation movements. It's the simpler those movements are, the kind of deeper I can go into them, and kind of make kind of profound changes with the body, hopefully, and then take them in different places, and we start to take on really more complex movements later, which we'll look at in the next few weeks. Great. If you've got any questions, let me know. We will bow out. Just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Domo arigato gozaimasu.
𝒊𝒔𝒏𝒂𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂😇
All right. There we go.
Great. Thank you so much, Michael.
Good.
You
Thank
have a
you,
great-
guys.
Thank you,
Have a
Michael.
great week.
Enjoy.
You know,
Happy
see you next
Easter.
Friday.
Yeah, happy Easter, right? Yeah, see you
Happy
in
Bye-bye.
see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, 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 bye.
Bye. Bye, Susan.
Yeah, bye-bye, Bob.
Yeah, nice to meet you. All right, bye-bye.